Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Watering Hole. Todd has decided to vacate his leadership for today, and we're turning it over to young Ben.
Standing in or sitting in, per se.
Yeah, you're sitting in today. Ben, what's with the Iowa shirt today, buddy? Are you a big Hawkeyes fan?
I'm not. I got a bunch of buddies that go there, went there, so I'm a
Did they
supporter of
buy you
Iowa.
the shirt or something? And one of your buddies
No, I bought it.
You bought it on your own, but
I did.
you don't
I went to a
support.
football game. So,
Okay, well, that makes sense.
So I got to wear something that represents them. I can't.
When in Rome.
When in Iowa City, I guess.
Iowa City.
Yeah.
How was Iowa City? Was it good?
It was good. It was fun. It was a lot different than my Macomb college life,
Western
for sure.
Illinois.
Yeah.
I've always said that if I became king of America, right, if I supplanted Donald Trump as the king of America, besides changing the bow case laws universally and the time that we have to check in our deer, I would decree to the land that the capital of every state would just be the name of that state's city. So as an example, Iowa City. That way you never had to worry about remembering the capital. Like, who remembers Montpelier? I don't even know where that is, or I feel like it's a capital.
Think about all the hours wasted as a child trying to
I know,
memorize.
studying and then trying to remember the capitals. Like, just make it like Illinois City, Alabama City, Wisconsin City.
It simplifies it for sure.
Makes it way. It's kind of like the metric system of capital cities. So I don't know. Maybe it's Trump. Donnie may watch this. The Don may be bored. Maybe Junior likes the Watering Hole, and he's like, hell yeah, brother, that's a good idea. Let me bring that up the chain, see what we can get done. With that said, we got a sponsor for today's episode, Ben. Yay! We need like
Lease
cowbells. Ring-a-ling-a-ling. Hunting Lease Network. If you guys need somewhere to hunt, which everyone needs somewhere to hunt, Ben and I were just scoping out. There's a lease available in Lee County, Iowa, which is southeast Iowa. It looks pretty damn good. So if you have an Iowa tag this year and you're looking for somewhere to hunt, it's 233 acres, nice wooded draws, it says. I don't know. I feel like you could kill a deer there.
Should be able to kill deer anywhere in Iowa, they say. There's a 150
Literally,
around every
you
tree.
just need a patch of ground, and there's a deer worth shooting somewhere in Iowa. So go to Hunting Lease Network, sign up, get a free account, just register. They don't like spam you or anything. They just literally send you like, hey, there's a lease in this area that you may be interested in.
It's window shopping.
It is. It's Zillow for dudes that like to go deer hunting. So, Ben, let's move into the meat and taters for today's episode. You put together our topic list. So before we get to that, Ben, give us an update on the poison ivy. You're looking much better this week.
The poison ivy is great. It's not around my eyes anymore. I looked like a raccoon last week.
I don't know. Not really a raccoon.
You
looked like you were dying of some sort of communicable disease.
That too.
Leprosy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
That works.
More like a leper, less like a raccoon.
Yeah, no, it's off my face, which is the big one.
That was kind of gross.
It kind of spread into some unwanted areas. Nether regions, that some may say. But I did pretty well. Like, I've been taking my meds, every day, and really making it a point to scratch my nether regions.
What made it look even better was the cream or whatever ointment
when
you were applying on your face.
Like wet.
So not only is your face like red and puffy and gross looking, but then it's all like shiny from the ointment. It was pretty awesome. So
gotta do what you gotta do.
Congratulations. What we do for deer hunting. So let's talk, Ben. Let's go through our list. What do we got today?
Yeah. My first little topic was bucks finally hard horned. I finally just started seeing bucks hard horned on my cameras, but they're all little guys. I don't really have many big guys in the first place, but
you got a couple decent ones though.
Yeah, they just haven't shown up in a while.
But yes, it is that time of year. Bucks are getting hard horned. I saw with my own eyeballs my first hard horned buck last night. Yeah, I left my house and there's a spot that I drive by all the time and there's deer all the time. Like, pretty much you drive by there in the evening, there's going to be a deer somewhere. And so I had to go pick my son up from his friend's house, and I had Jake with me. So I had to go pick up Joey. So it was me and Jake, and we were driving, and I was like, there's going to be deer out here. I was like, how come we never see any bucks out here? It's just always does. Like, every once in a while I see a buck during the rut. And I was like, one of these days we're going to see a buck out here. And we drove, and we saw a couple does, picked up Joey. We're driving home, and we look up on the hill, and I'm like, dude, there's a buck, sure enough. And he put his head down like right as we were like getting close to him. So I honked and he picked his head up. And it was a nice like 120-inch 8-point hard horned. I was like,
Get Joey fired up?
I was like, oh yeah, the boys were like, oh yeah, we saw a buck finally.
Nice.
So yeah, it was. It's good to see that hard horn. My buddy Mike was out doing some tree stand work yesterday. He sent me a picture of a nice big fresh rub that he found.
I didn't see any. I was out in the woods and I did not see any rubs or scrapes. So, but it's
scrapes,
like it's like the time
early.
where it's gonna be.
You're gonna start
kick
seeing
off soon.
Those rubs for sure. So yeah, if you guys are seeing hard horned deers, let us know. They're definitely out there. I haven't gotten, I don't think, much on my camera. My buck activity over the last like week has been terrible. I've been getting does like crazy in some small like 1.5 years, but I don't think I've gotten anything like even like a 2-year-old in the last like week, which is crazy because we've had this great like cool weather that we've had.
Yeah, I doubled my camera fleet this weekend and still feel like the pictures have not doubled. It's kind of been just the same way. One of the properties have been dead and the others have picked up. So
I feel like we're in that little bit of a transition right now where they're getting hard horned, so they start to move around a little bit from where they've been all summer. Some of the beans might be kind of yellowing a little bit. They might be off the beans. Acorns are dropping like crazy, so I feel like they're just everything's just different right now. I feel like over the next month things really transition quite a bit.
Yeah.
Especially for me, I've historically seen like velvet shedding time is when the bucks start to seemingly move around. I have bucks disappear. I have new bucks show up, which is what I'm hoping for. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, right.
You know, last year, one of the shooters that I'm hoping is still around showed up on like, I think it was like September 18th. He before I got a summertime quote unquote picture of him. So hopefully in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, that real big buck that I was chasing last year. I'll throw a photo up here. It did not show up until like the first week of September. So, I mean,
this is it.
Yeah. They should be coming soon.
Let's go, bucks. Let's go. Why do you think they do that? What is it? Where they're like, I've been hanging out here all summer, just chilling with the boys.
Just chilling with the boys.
Then that testosterone starts to ramp up.
It's the ladies.
I need whatever they got. I need that extra testosterone. I need some of that. Get me all fired up for the fall.
I already am.
Yeah.
I don't need any more.
How old are you, Ben?
22.
22, young Ben. Yeah, you're just full of testosterone. Piss and vinegar, we might call it as well. Like maybe that's what testosterone is.
Like a 2.5-year-old buck right now. I'm just ready to just get after it.
Fair enough. Brando, you're 40 now?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. I just turned 45. 41. I turned 45 last week, Ben. That's disgusting.
Double my age.
How did that happen?
Double my age.
I don't even know how that happened.
Ben
I feel like I wasn't 45.
45 trips around.
I just keep thinking about how Ben could be my child.
It could be just about like everyone's child.
Like I would have been 21. I'd have been 21 when he was born. Like that, totally feasible.
You could be my illegitimate love child, Ben.
Reasonable child, yeah.
Bring your mom in here. We're gonna have to question her. We want a DNA swab.
Have I seen you at side eyes before?
All right, 2025 season outlook, Ben. What do you got for us? What is your prediction?
Oh, geez. For me or for you or us or
I don't know. I guess you're the new guy here today, so I'll let you ask the questions. Direct us.
Yeah, what is, I mean, obviously going into a season, you might have higher hopes, lower hopes. You might have no bucks on camera. You might have a lot of bucks on camera. I hope
everybody going into their season has high hopes. If you're going into the season with low hopes,
sometimes you have nothing to look forward to, though. You have scouting, you have your cameras, and there might not be anything. You might feel like you're down in the dumps. So, how are you feeling right now going into the season? Feel like you're off on a good foot, ready for the first.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel right now. I mean, I don't have low hopes. I don't know. I just feel like whatever's going to happen, it's going to happen. It's kind of how I feel right now.
The world is your oyster. There you go.
What is?
The world is your oyster.
The world is my oyster. Potentially. Yeah, I mean, I feel something. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's not high. It's not like, I don't know. I feel like the older I get, the more I am excited about just being able to go hunting in general. Like I'm excited for like those cool mornings in the stand and sunrises and just being out there and getting to go do it. Whether I shoot a deer or not or anything shows up, I don't know. I just I don't know. I care, but I don't care at the same time. I used to be when I was younger, if I didn't get a deer, I felt like a failure. I felt like bummed out, like just like, it was like my only thing that mattered was getting a buck, and now it's like if I get one, it's just kind of a bonus. I think that's just what happens when you're an old dude. How about you, young Ben? What's your outlook for the season?
I don't know. It's the first season that I am an adult officially, not in school, like So okay. I don't know how it's going to be like hunting wise. I don't think it's going to be like anything much different sitting wise. I mean, I'll probably sit a little less because I have a job.
Yes, that is true.
I don't know. I mean, as far as like what I'm expecting, hoping for a big buck, but that's not obviously the goal. Kind of like what you're saying. I mean, I definitely think part of it is like, the success at my age. I want to shoot something, obviously, for sure. But yeah, I'm just ready to get in the woods and just excited for, excited for a weekend for a good cold morning and
I can't wait.
Just seeing whatever. Doesn't matter, just being out there.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah. So.
Listen to us, just taking it all in, leaves and the trees. I can't wait to flip off some squirrels.
Yeah, that's sick.
It's gonna be great.
A lot of
yapping at me.
You make a collage for that.
I've been getting a lot of turkeys on my trail camera.
Really?
Lately. So I'm contemplating buying a fall turkey archery tag just to maybe schwack one if he walks by. But I also have been of the persuasion the last few years where I have not bought a fall turkey tag because I feel like they made it through their season, and just kind of let them go. Like, you guys earned it. You didn't get killed in the spring. Like, now I'm just out here trying to shoot a deer and you happen to walk by me and I whack you. Like, almost feels a little like unfair.
I've never shot a turkey in the fall, and I don't know.
They're hard to shoot from a tree stand.
They're all flocked up. I've seen. I've never seen like a singular turkey.
Yeah,
by themselves,
it's hard, and I feel like they're always looking up in the trees for like danger. I don't know, hawks, owls, whatever might kill a turkey, an eagle. I don't know, a human being with a bow and arrow. So, and it's like you're not in a blind or anything. You don't have any cover, so getting drawn back can be difficult. And it's like they're kind of farther away. You're shooting them from an elevated position. I don't know. It just feels weird to me. So again, I'm torn. I've been getting a lot of turkey pictures, like a lot. So I'm like, all right, maybe I will just buy a tag because I mean, shooting them is fun. I'm not gonna say it's not fun, but did they earn a free pass from me by not getting killed in the spring? That's the question.
My like weird thing is like, even though how much is a fall turkey tag? Like $5, $10
like $5.
My thing cheap. Is like, I will maybe see a turkey maybe in range once all fall, but my head is like, is it worth the $5 to buy this turkey tag? Even
last
though
year I
probably
will
never use it. I don't know.
I did not buy a turkey tag last year, and I had a group of like 6 or 8 toms come past me on Thanksgiving morning when I went hunting. And I thought to myself, like, of all the mornings, I could have shot that thing, brought it home. My whole family would have came over because we host Thanksgiving. I could have just had it hanging in the garage when they got there.
Would have been sick.
Cut it up and cooked it for everybody. But I was
been
a failure.
American as heck.
I failed. So I don't know. Maybe this year.
Feel like you need to redeem yourself.
Yeah, but I don't know. Is it only redeeming if I shoot one on Thanksgiving or just at any point? I don't think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to hold out. I think the turkeys.
I'm like a save the turkeys type of guy. So
I want to shoot them in the spring when they're gobbling and strutting and doing what turkeys do. I don't know. It's just meandering through the woods. That's something about just whacking him when he's just out. I don't know.
Do they gobble and strut in the fall? I'm not a huge turkey guy, so I don't know. I've never seen it happen.
I have heard very few gobbles in the fall. They make a lot of noise, and I've seen them strut a little bit, but they're not like they are in the spring.
Yeah, I definitely hadn't heard a gobble like in the woods until I started turkey hunting a couple of years ago in the spring, because I never hunted in turkey areas in the first place, but also just never heard one in the woods. I don't know.
Turkey gobbles are badass. So
they're pretty sick.
Your next thing here says, are we making any big moves for this year or hunting similar to the past? For me, I always feel like I want to make big moves, but then I just end up doing the same shit I do every year, which is not shoot deer. So maybe I should make some moves.
Just take a wild year. Just call this year. Just do random crazy things that you never do.
I have a couple things on the agenda for this year. Number one, I am going to make a much more concerted effort to shoot a deer, white-tailed deer, from the ground.
It's a good plan.
With or without the aid of my ghost blind. So that is one thing. I think you and I talked about this maybe last week sometime, about how when we were younger, did you just hunt off the ground a lot?
Yeah, I always hunted off the ground.
It was just like a thing when you started hunting. Yeah. I just went out and kicked out some leaves next to a tree and just chilled there. And dude, I killed my first, I don't know how many deer from the ground with a bow and arrow with no blind. And like, I just thought that's the way everybody hunted. I didn't own a bunch of tree stands and saddles.
I just thought you graduated to a tree stand. Like you started at the ground and then you go up. But
yeah, but there's something about hunting off the ground that's like cool. Freeing.
Eye level.
A little bit. It's kind of like you just go wherever you want. You just walk around. You're like, this spot looks good. You don't even have to worry about like a tree at all. Like saddles, you worry a little bit less about a good tree because you can get away with a little bit more. But hunting off the ground is like, just like, okay, this looks like a good spot. As long as I could shoot to wherever I think the deer is going to be and there's enough cover, you know. So I have that going for me. And then I got this Kansas trip coming up with some of the boys. So that'll be yet another failed public land adventure for me out of state.
You don't know that yet.
This could be the first year of success.
Those are the low hopes we were talking about earlier right there.
Yeah, that one I have low hopes for because I've yet to be successful on an out-of-state public land adventure. I was close in Kentucky. I shot at a deer in Iowa. So I've been close. Oh, I have killed. I guess I've killed a public land deer in Illinois, but that wasn't out of state. Ben,
so public land.
How about you? Have you ever done public land?
I have shed hunted public land. Found a couple sheds.
Doesn't count.
No, I don't think I've never deer hunted once public land. I've been very fortunate enough to have private spots, so I have not. And
you've never done an out of state adventure?
No.
You hunted anything out of state? Turkeys?
Yeah, I've hunted turkeys in Missouri. I've hunted deer up in Eagle River in Wisconsin. It was like, you know, wolf country, pretty.
You were like, barren. Hey, let's go deer hunt where there's even less deer.
It was nothing like here. It was just a.
Did you see any deer?
I don't think I saw a deer. I remember being excited when I saw a couple set of tracks in the snow. So
were you gun hunting?
I was, yeah. It was rifle season.
So it was rifle season.
And that was my first time hunting Wisconsin. Which,
a lot of big woods up there.
Really big woods, yeah. It was a lot different terrain than here for sure. Like, I don't know, it's like kind of rocky and sandy-ish.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. It's really weird. You know, you go just, I don't know, a couple hours, 4 or 5 maybe. It looks a lot different. So I can't imagine going like out west or anywhere else. I feel like I'd be lost. I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, it is strange because you grow up and you get so accustomed to like where you hunt and how you hunt and like what you're used to. I would say that's like one of the big, even just hunting deer in other states that are not as similar to the way that like Illinois. So as an example, you go down to Kentucky where I went, that feels like hunting Illinois.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it looks a lot like our terrain. You've got ag, you've got hardwoods, like rolling hills, ravines. Like I'm used to hunting. This feels like hunting here. Go to Kansas and it's a whole different ball game. You know, there's just like, you're like, I don't know where to go because I'm so used to trees and there's now not many or any of them. So in Illinois, when you're driving through areas that don't have trees, you're like, okay, well, there's no deer here, so I'm not going to hunt here.
That's pretty much what I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we were
every time.
That's how we were taught to think. I think you and I were looking at a couple leases on Hunting Lease Network that were like big ag areas with like very minimal like timber cover. We're like, well, that place looks like crap. But it's like, dude, you go to Kansas and like it's totally like different. Yeah. So it is it's hard to get used to getting out of the mindset of like where deer are at and what they do based on that terrain. So, but it is fun too, because you get to learn new things, experience new things, and you get to like see deer just literally pop out of nowhere. They just spawn and you're like, there's a deer there. Where the hell did this deer come from?
Yeah.
So
I think that's pretty cool. Like about, I don't know, just the people that always go around, you know, the U.S. and are hunting a bunch of these different states and are just so successful on all these public land spots. It's just,
that is an
it's
impressive
just a testament to,
there's a few guys out there that do a really, yeah, it's hard.
Can barely do it in my own state.
I think the one thing that they have is, you know, yes, they're good hunters, but they have time. Yep. A lot of these guys, whatever it is that they do for a living or they're laid off or whatever, I have no idea, but definitely sometimes you can get lucky occasionally and tag out quickly. right? But most of these guys that are doing it, like they have a lot of time to go do it. You look at like a Matt Millard that, is, he's been pretty successful at hunting a lot of his public land stuff like that he's done since he's joined with Bowhunter Die. But he's going out for 2 weeks, He was
in Iowa for quite some time this past fall.
Yeah. And it takes time to figure out, like, what sucks is when you go to a place, because I've done this, you go and you've got a long weekend. You got 3 days to hunt. It's like you kind of just have to pick a spot and go hunt it right away. You don't have the luxury of like scouting, which when you have, 10 days or 2 weeks, like you can spend. I know Matt spends a lot of time driving, a lot of time walking. I think he said when he went to Iowa, I think he spent the first 5 days, maybe something like that. I know, Brando, you're editing footage. I think he spent 5-6 days just scouting and walking and looking before he ever even jumped in a tree. Does that sound right?
Yeah, he was out there for a while before he even started hunting.
Which was smart, right? Because you don't want to waste the time you do have hunting in a shitty spot, But it's hard because you feel that clock ticking.
Yeah, it'd be hard.
And you're like, I need to jump in a tree and I need to hunt now, because if I don't hunt, I'm not going to kill. But Matt's philosophy is like, if I'm not hunting the right spot, I'm not going to kill. That's why I'm hoping that he goes out to Kansas a few days before I get there, and he narrows down some of these spots.
He is coming out there?
Yeah, it'll be myself, Matt, Tyler Barron, and one of Tyler's friends.
I guess I don't know why I thought it was Miller and not Millard, but
Matt Miller, no, he doesn't go on adventures with me anymore. He's way too cool for that. He's got his own farm over there in Fulton County now. He's one of the boys. He used to live up here. He was one of us. Now he decided to move and relocate.
He's one of them.
Now he's one of them. Now he's a Fulton County boy with his own farm and his fancy new house that he built himself. He's just living the life down there, Miller. So he's not going to go slumming on public land with me.
Miller built the house himself.
With his bare hands.
Not him physically.
I
He may have done a few things. I don't know what.
I did see Miller's house. It's a real nice spread.
It's pretty dope.
It is.
He's got a nice lake he's building in the backyard.
That, yeah.
Got some food plots. Got some deer. He's just living the dream, Brando. Here we are.
Take one.
We're just slumming it with our podcast.
Slumming it.
Oh, I like this question, Ben. This is a great one because
the food plot one?
Yes.
Yeah. I was thinking about it the same too.
This is something that I was bitching about. So Ben's question is, for how much work you put into your food plot or plots, how much do you end up actually hunting it? It's a great question. I was thinking about this the other night. I don't know how long I've been doing food plots now, but it's got to be. I remember one of the first times we started doing food plots, Todd and Tommy and myself had a lease. And Todd brought his tractor out, and we did food plots with his tractor. But that was the first time I think I really started doing food plots, and that was probably 2011 or 12. So, I mean, we're talking 13, 14 years. And I think, and then ever since then, I feel like I've put in food plots every year. And I spend a bunch of time doing them because I'm doing them out with my ATV.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going and spraying and trying to disc and mow and do all this stuff. And I think I've killed 3 does in food plots in the last 13 years, or 3 or 4 does that I've shot.
You personally, plots. You and
me,
Joey? And
me personally, I've never killed a buck in a food plot of any sort. Now, my kids, so Joey has killed, I think, every one of his deer, just about. I think he killed, his first deer was in a soybean food plot. Next year, we killed one just on an ag field. Then he killed one on a clover plot, and then he killed his other one last year on the same clover plot. So he's definitely killed more deer over food plots, I think, than I have. But for me, dude, I've never once. And half the time, like you said, I don't even hunt them.
Yeah.
I have my kids go there, the guys that I hunt with go there, whatever. And I'm the asshole out here doing all this work. And I don't even hunt them or kill anything on them. Sometimes I question what the hell I'm even doing. How about you?
I have one little micro plot in the woods at my property. And I don't know if you can even call it a plot. I don't know. It's in the woods. It's very shaded. I just kind of cleared out an area. I don't do the proper work to it. I feel like I try to. Us don't. Yeah, I mean, I try to break ground and do all that stuff, but I probably hunt it once a year, maybe, which is embarrassing.
Do you think you would hunt it more if you did it right and it looked like
100%
lush and badass?
100%. And maybe not because of the lushness, but I think just because of the, like, if I actually put in like the correct effort, I don't think I look into it enough to know what I'm doing, which is with all these great resources around me. I feel like I should be doing better, but I don't know. I think I put a lot more of my like focus into like my tree stands and trail cameras and stuff.
I think when you're your age, and I think for any young hunter, focus more on becoming a better hunter and less on a better farmer, right? Because I think those are skills that a lot of us lose. So this was, you know, Todd and I did a podcast. I think it might have been the one that we did with Jake from HHA, where we talked about like active versus passive hunting. Yeah. Right. And I feel like so many of us have lost the woodsmanship that makes you an active hunter, to go out and seek the deer out and find the deer and kill the deer versus attracting the deer to you, which is more of the passive, like food plot method. Right. Because I mean, I know that food plots aren't exactly the same as baiting, but it's the same general philosophy, right? They're baiting adjacent. They're a lot more work. They're a lot less predictable. They're a lot more beneficial for just all the animals, but it's the same general idea. I'm putting food here to attract the deer so I can kill the deer, versus like trying to figure out where's that deer want to be all on its own. Where does it want to be and why does it want to be there? And am I smart enough to go intercept that deer and get to that point ahead of him to be able to kill him? For me anyways, I feel like it's a more rewarding thing. And maybe that's part of the reason that I don't hunt my food plots as much, because it's just like I feel a little bit like I'm cheating. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, mine don't look good enough to ever make me feel like I would be cheating by shooting something over it. But
fair enough.
But I've always thought it'd be sick to shoot a deer in the, I can say the wide open, but like the wide open plot that I created. But I've never done it. So
yeah, maybe next year we just need to work. We should do like an episode or two where we like go help young Ben do his poor man's food plots.
It'd be pretty sick. It'd be pretty cool.
It's hard when they're in the woods, right? The soil quality in the woods is usually really bad. So it takes a lot of, I think probably lime. Todd could speak to this more than I can, but I think soil quality inside the timber is usually pretty bad. So it requires a lot of like adding stuff to the soil to get it to grow properly. And then you're always dealing with the sun issue, right? With the trees shading things out. So in my experience from the few that I've had decent luck with, like clover, especially certain blends of clover, I think are more like shade tolerant. So maybe we try to get you a nice lush clover plot to kill something in.
That would be nice. That would be ideal. I don't know. Last year I sprayed it. What did I do? I burned around with my quad. What did I do? I think I put Todd gave me some fertilizer, and then I like broadcast. I think it was Wicked Greens, maybe. I don't know. Tried to get some seed to soil.
Wicked Greens, like I was gonna say, if anybody has not put food in and they still want to try to get some food in, Wicked Greens is the way to go right now. It's got that oats and stuff in it, and that stuff usually grows anywhere, dude. Like I mean, it's usually.
It took okay. I mean, but we didn't get enough rain, and obviously, like I said, I didn't have enough like seed to soil and all the proper plot stuff. But it took okay, but not like a lush food plot should be. So
sure,
yeah,
I can understand that.
I always say every year though, next spring or before the season, I'll start doing some TLC, expanding it, whatever. But I get ahead of myself.
Again, worry about becoming a better hunter and a more proficient archer. I think those two things are way more important for everyone to focus on than like. It's fun to go do food plots and pretend that we're farmers and like grow things. It's fun,
but yeah.
I mean, it can be like when you see the reward.
The reward, yeah.
When you see the plants growing and you're like, oh, it's working, yay!
Like today,
it's like today when I'm like, dude, check out my food plot, it looks awesome. Like, whatever, But I still think becoming a better, more proficient hunter. Like so again, if we were to just break that down to the basics, so there's something that. So I was talking with my buddy this morning, Tommy. We have a guy that's leasing that jumped in on our lease this year. He's a friend of Tommy's. I don't think he's ever hunted before. Maybe last year was like his first year hunting. And I think he had like a somebody's backyard that he could hunt in, right? Type of deal where there's like deer in a neighborhood. But now he comes out to like our lease and Tommy's showing him all around the property. And he's trying to explain to this guy who's never hunted before, like how you would, let's say, get into or out of a stand, or which stand you may want to hunt based on the wind, right? And this is something that, like, to a young hunter, and the guy's not young, but a new hunter, like, it's a foreign concept. He's like, he just doesn't, and there's so many pieces of information that us as experienced hunters are processing as we go through the woods that, like, somebody who hasn't done it or hasn't done it a lot isn't picking up on those things, right? Entry and exit routes, wind direction, bedding areas versus feeding areas, travel corridors, finding those edges that deer like to travel, understanding what might be good to hunt in a morning versus an afternoon. There's just, again, we look and our brains are processing so quickly that we just forget, we take it for granted. So he's walking through the lease and showing the guy the different tree stands, and he's asking him all these questions, like when should I hunt here? What wind should I hunt on? Like all the different things, which it's very similar for me of like taking my kids out and like trying to explain to them like why we're doing certain things and what to look for and whatnot. But like I said, there's just so many pieces of information that we're processing. And I think the only way that you can get better at that is to just do it over and over and over and over again. It's the scouting, it's the hanging stands, it's the being observant when you're in a stand and seeing where deer are moving, but not just seeing. Don't just take it at the surface level of like, oh, I saw a deer over there. Like I always try to figure out like, why was that deer over there? Yeah. Where was it coming from? Where was it going to? Is that piece of information something that I can use to become a better hunter in the future? And I was explaining it to Tommy this morning is like, I got roped into coaching youth football this year, which I never played football growing up because I wanted to go hunting. And I was like, football happens in the fall, and sorry, but I'm going deer hunting. So I would go deer hunting every chance I got. I didn't want to practice. I didn't want to like stay around. Friday nights, I would leave to go out of town, and I'd be out of town until Sunday to go deer hunting. So when it comes to football, like there's all these pieces of information that people are processing, like positions and where people are moving to and like how teams are lined up and how you should run plays accordingly. And they're doing it so quick in their mind because they've done it a million times. Whereas I'm like the new hunter going like, I don't understand what I should do when this happens. Right. But I think you only get that through experience. And I think for hunters, you don't want to just like, I'm going to go to this food plot and sit here and wait for a deer to show up and shoot it. Because I just don't think you're getting as much experience doing it that way as you are of like, again, being more active. I don't know. This is my opinion. Although I do like hunting my food plots. Yeah. There's something about a food plot, a good-looking brassica plot on a cold afternoon or like a late season when they're piling in there, when there's snow on the ground. Like, dude, that is pretty badass.
I'm just a big woods hunter come that time. My food plots don't look good enough once, I don't know, it gets winter.
But you're hunting ag fields?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah, mostly ag fields.
Yeah, but you're not hunting in the woods. You're hunting food.
Oh, I meant my food plots just look bad come late.
Yeah, but I'm just saying in general, like hunting an ag field is like hunting a giant food plot.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? I mean, you kind of have like, I kind of go in this order. Ag fields, giant amounts of food, right? Food plots, right? Smaller area. And then bait piles, right? They're all kind of the same thing. We're hunting a food source. It's just how narrowed down can you actually get to be able to shoot the thing with
get your perfect shot.
Yeah, with a bow, right?
So now what about hunting scrapes, mock scrapes? It's low effort, right? Relatively compared to putting in a food plot.
I think a lot of people, mock scrapes are probably a lot like food plots. If you're gonna do them right, they could be very effective. But I think most people don't put in the level of effort that a mock scrape requires to truly be effective. And so they don't help a lot of people actually kill deer. That's just my opinion. I think there's a lot of planning where to put a mock scrape, why a mock scrape is in a certain area. Right? I mean, there has to be a lot of intent behind it. And I think for a lot of people, they just go out and they're like, well, I want to hunt here. I'm I'm going to put a stand there. So I'm just going, because I want my stand here or my stand is already here, I'm going to put a mock scrape by it. But in my opinion, mock scrapes are tools that should be used for specific purposes in specific locations. And they require a little bit more effort to actually like freshen them up, because the idea is you want to make the resident buck or bucks think there is another buck in their area, right? So they're coming to that scrape to check to see what this other buck is doing. You want to make them think there's an intruder in the area. I think for a lot of people, they just use them as like, and they're a fine tool to just set out and get trail camera pictures, right? You can start a mock scrape and get a bunch of trail camera pictures over it, probably in the middle of the night, like most scrapes, but that doesn't necessarily help you kill a deer. So I don't know.
I mean, what you just described is like what the deer is trying to do or thinking, or what the bucks are doing with scrapes and checking them. I mean, is that proven that that's what it is, or is that just what we think the deer are doing or why they're doing it?
That's the reason they scrape, right? It's a communication system. They can't talk to one another, sure. Right? So scraping is a communication system that the deer have, right? That's why they come to them to deposit scent and to smell other deer that are in the area, right? So older bucks are using them as like dominance, right? Like, this is my area. The younger bucks can smell that or whatever. But in the end, the scrape is there. So like when that doe is coming into estrus, like she's going to go piss in a scrape somewhere. So those bucks are going to wander around and they're going to check those scrapes. And they're eventually looking for an estrus doe is the whole point of it. So it's kind of like a hierarchy system, like establishing a hierarchy of dominant deer, and then also helping them locate does that are coming into estrus, right? So it's like a community hub where everybody, it's like the bar, it's like the watering hole, where they all want to go hang out, So I mean, that's why deer make scrapes in general. So again, I think the idea is like, if you're going to make a fake one of those, there's got to be like, we all do it with the same intent that we do a food plot, but not all food plots are created equally. Right? You could have a food plot. You could put a food plot in an area that maybe the deer only use it after dark because they bed so far away that they can't get there till after dark. Bedding's not close enough. Or maybe your entrance and exit to that food plot suck. Maybe you can't get out without busting every deer and getting back to your truck, right? So it's like you could put a food plot there, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be successful for you. Right. So there has to be, again, in my opinion, like some thought process behind why a food plot is in a specific area, how I'm going to get to it, how I'm going to use it, where the deer are going to come from, what the predominant winds are, where they bed at, type of thing. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think my food plot where it's at, I think I just put it there because it was like an open area that
sure.
I could start to.
It's an easy spot to put one.
That I could start to work on. But now that I look back on it years later, there's definitely a better spot that now is occupied that I can't do anything with anymore, but I probably could have jumped on that earlier.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
That's the thing. I think for a lot of us, especially without a lot of equipment, if we don't have equipment to go clear an area to put a food plot,
it's two hands.
Yeah, we're just like, we put them wherever we can, which I get. Like, dude, I've done the same thing. Most of mine are very similar spots, but they could be challenging sometimes to hunt. And I said this to Todd. So Todd is in the process of selling his farm, his original farm.
Really?
Not the new one.
I didn't know that.
But
okay.
the original one, right?
Or maybe not nice. I don't know.
I told him this. He told me this morning, and I was like, well, congratulations, I guess. Am I supposed to say that?
Yeah,
are you sad about this? Or
why?
Why?
I mean, I know he doesn't get out there as much.
He just doesn't get, he just doesn't get there. He doesn't use it. He's got the new farm. It's half hour away. He's got a whole building over there to maintain, equipment. Like, it's just too much of a pain in the ass. And I told him from the beginning when he bought that new, bigger farm and was building a house on it and everything, I was like, dude, you're never going to come back over here. Like, I knew it. And he lasted, 2 years?
I didn't know how long he's had it, but.
The new farm, you mean?
The
old farm he's had for probably 15 years, something like that. But in any case, like, that place always suffered from it. It's a smaller farm, it was like 60 acres, and he had so much damn food on it. And he did, the problem is, like, he made this awesome bedding areas, and then he put all this food in there, and he had Like you couldn't walk into that place and not just be busting deer out all over the joint. It made it hard to access because he had so much food. And then it's like if you wanted to hunt one of the back food plots, maybe because of the wind or whatever, you had to walk through the front ones. Or if you hunted the back in the evening and then you had to come out, dude, there was deer running everywhere because you had to just walk through all of that stuff on your way. And there was no other way. There was no other access. There was no other way to go. So I always felt like that was one of those examples where it's like, it's a great farm. It's got a lot of deer and he's killed some nice deer on it, but he set it up in a way that I think going back, he might've done a little bit differently. Right. And preserved access in and out of some of these spots without having to like shit. Now I want to hunt the back of the farm and I got to walk through all my bedding to get there. Like, so then it became more difficult to hunt his farm on certain winds or certain times of the day. It just wasn't very flexible. But fortunately for Todd, he had other places to go.
Right.
So
I feel like we just did work out there.
You did. Didn't you just put a water
We literally
hole in?
just did a water. We just did a water.
I know
hole
we were
out
talking
there.
about this last week.
That's funny. Isn't that the one he was like mainly doing? Is that his biggest water hole?
Yeah. That's a big deal.
Well, whoever's getting a farm in Joe Davies, you're getting a sick water hole.
Yeah. And did all the tree stands.
Is he leaving them all?
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, I talked to Todd like last week when he told me about it, and I was like, "Are you just like selling the whole package?" He's like, "Yeah, if they want the broom, they can have it."
Oh my gosh.
I knew that too. I asked him this morning. He's like, yeah. He's like, well, I think he's gonna put together a number for the guy to buy like all the equipment that.
Does he have a? Is there a buyer already?
Yeah, he's gonna buy. I met with him last week, but yeah. Anyways, I knew that was gonna happen. You know, I was like, you leaving all your stands and everything there? He's like, yeah, I'm not going and taking them all down. He's like, if you want any of them, just go out there and grab them before I sell the place. Whatever's left, he can have. I'm like, nah, dude, I'm good.
Jeez.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Graph.
All right, Ben's plotting a trip.
I know. I'm like, no.
Ben's the Facebook marketplace king of stands and
that is true.
Yeah.
Over here.
Not as of lately though. I've got everything up, and I still, well, not still. I have like 1 or 2 stands and sticks in the shed.
Can I make a confession?
Oh, geez, Brandon.
Oh yes, of course.
So, so remember back when we would, I forget what it was called, but I think maybe me and Todd, maybe you went once, but it was like we made a trip, and it was like we would like sit and talk. And we were doing videos. It was like out at some like little club or something, and we would have like I'm trying to describe what this is, but it was like a meetup, and we would go and talk to manufacturers, and we would get information, and we kind of go around from each one to the other one.
Oh, it was that Media Direct roundtable that we did.
It sounds like a round table.
Yeah.
So they gave us like bags of like stuff, like free gear and stuff.
Yeah.
And so like when you brought up Facebook Marketplace, I was cleaning out my closet this weekend, and I was like, I still have like a bag full of like, I think it's got like maybe a sight, freaking quiver, a bunch of like random stuff that like I'm never gonna use. But I'm like, wait, is like the statute of limitations on when I can sell this on Marketplace up?
I think you're good. The problem is it's all like old
Yeah.
now. Dude, that was
8-9 years ago.
more than that, brother.
Yeah.
It was probably 13.
Could have been.
It might have been like
I've been-
2012.
It's crazy, though.
I know. I went to 2 of them. So
Yeah.
I started in 2011. So
Yeah, it was probably 2012, 2013.
yeah.
Gift bags with sights and quivers, huh?
It was,
Sounds pretty solid.
I'm trying to think what it was. Probably some True Glow
Yeah, it was like
stuff,
True Glow
if
stuff,
I
I
had to
think.
guess, or Apex Gear.
Yeah.
One of those. There might be like an old, like stealth cam trail camera, like an old like Jim Shockey model or whatever.
Pretty
they were.
sure I'd have an old stealth cam just in a package in my garage somewhere.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Please.
It might be like you got to like keep it in the
Send a
OG
photo,
packaging.
Brando.
So this weekend, speaking of like this old stuff, so years ago, I gave my brother-in-law my Matthews Chill. So it was a Monster Chill that I think it might have. When did the Chill come out? So I got my Z7 Extreme in 2010. I think 2011 was the Helium. So maybe 2012 might have been the Chill. How old were you in 2012, Ben?
9 years old.
You were 9. So I think I might have got my Chill in 2012 because I feel like 13 was the Chill R. So I had my Chill. I gave it to my brother-in-law, and he's been shooting it for probably the last like decade, maybe. I probably gave it to him in 14, 15, something like that. Because I think I had given him my Helium. He shot that for a year or 2. Then I gave him my Chill. He gave me the Helium back, and I sold it, which I should have just held on to it just for the hell of it. But he's been shooting my Chill. And I just decided, like, I wanted it back. But not like, I wasn't like, hey, just give me my bow and now you don't have a bow. So I gave him my Phase 4. I basically traded him.
It's a pretty solid upgrade.
It's a sweet upgrade for him.
It's a pretty solid upgrade,
And so I had a Phase 4 29. It was actually the bow I shot my last buck with. I haven't shot one since then. But it's got the freaking sweet OptiFade riser with the black limbs. It's a nice bow. I gave him the full setup, like Matthews quiver, HHA sights, got a Q80 on it, like just gave him the whole thing. And I had him give him my chill back because I just want to keep it as like a memento. Like,
yeah, you were talking about just buying some older bows.
Yeah, I just want that. I have this thing where I just want some older bows now. But he brought it over to my house and gave it back to me. And I gave him the new one, and he shot a little bit yesterday. We got them all dialed in. And it's just insane to me looking back like 13 years or whatever since that chill came out, like the technology difference. Like I remember thinking that bow was like the hottest shit when I got it.
It's like, how can anything be any better than this?
Yeah, how could they make a bow better than this? And then I'm looking over it, and it's like, dude, the limbs feel so small and like thin and frail. I'm like, oh my God, is this thing going to break if I shoot it? Is how I feel now, because the limbs on our bows now are just these big, fat, wide things.
Strong.
Yeah. But, so yeah,
it's funny. That's a good trade for him.
Yeah.
For about anybody.
It's got an old HHA Optimizer Kingpin on it. It's got an NAP Apache breast. I forgot what it's got on it for a stabilizer. He put some crappy quiver on it, and I was like, I don't even want this. But now I got it. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm probably going to throw a new set of strings and cables on it. Throw some ABBs on it just because I don't like what he's got on it right now. And then, I don't know, I'm just going to shoot it.
What bow were we, you were looking on Marketplace? Was it the Monster? Or
probably a Z7 Extreme.
Z7 Extreme. Did you find one? No?
I found a couple of them out there, but man, they're just a little bit more than I want to spend. I'm hoping to find somebody that's got one that doesn't know what they have.
That's what we're all hoping for on Marketplace or eBay.
Find one for like $300 somewhere, because these guys are asking like $600 for them.
I got a great fucking deal on Marketplace. I should filter my language. But.
Jeez, Brando. What'd you buy in Marketplace? It was a great deal.
It was a mixer for my band, like an audio mixer. Yeah. It's like the way it's set up, it's probably like a $1,300 mixer. And the dude had it on there for $500. And he was just like, yeah, I'm not in a band anymore. I'm not going to use it, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, sweet. And I went and tested it out. Thing's mint. It's pretty great. But
did he not know what he had?
I think he knew what he had, but he was just one of those old guys that like probably, had more money than he cared to or I can't stop cussing.
Yeah, Brandon, jeez.
Yeah, probably, I don't know. He just seemed like one of those guys that didn't care. Like, yeah. Yeah, and
that's what I need. I need somebody with a Z7 Extreme tactical. Yeah. Right hand 2970. Yeah. I totally forgot those were draw length specific cams.
This is not a bad place to advertise.
There wasn't even a module for them. I think it was the whole cam was draw length specific, if I recall. But I would like to get a Z7 Extreme just to have one. So Dustin DeCruz's dad, Jerry, has been shooting Dustin's old Z7 Extreme for years. And he just shot an antelope last week. We'll throw the photo in here. And I was very dismayed to see he was not shooting the Z7 Extreme. So when he texted me, I was like, where's the Z7 Extreme? He's like, don't worry, I still have it. But Dustin must have
from him.
Dustin must have given. No, he probably won't sell. I want the Extreme, the black with the carbon fiber limbs, because that's what I had. And I just want it. I want one of those. And I'm contemplating buying another Traverse, because I had sold my Traverse and I really liked that bow. So I don't know, but
what are you supposed to do with all these things?
I just hanging on.
I know. I feel that. I
just kind of want to have them. Yeah, like vintage stuff's vintage.
Hopefully one day it appreciates a lot. Maybe.
It's probably a terrible investment. I'm not investing. It's more for nostalgia.
It seems like
just so my kids have more shit to throw in the trash when I die. It's really
or to sell on Marketplace.
Or to sell on Marketplace. I have my old bow from when I was in high school, my Golden Eagle Orion 2. I have that at home.
I thought that was up.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that the bow?
No, I took it home. I took it home.
That's a pretty slick thing.
And I shot
slick rig.
I was very scared to shoot it.
You did shoot it?
I draw it back, and I shot one arrow through it, and it didn't explode. Nothing broke. I'm thinking about maybe it needs a new string.
But
it's like a 30 or 31 inch draw length. Like, there's no way I was like, I don't even know where I got the bow from. I just bought it, and I think there was no consideration of draw length or anything when I bought it. It was just like throw a peep sight on it and go hunting. So
yeah, my dad gave me his bow, and I was just shooting it how it was. I doubt it was correct, but shot straight, killed deer. I don't know.
Straight-ish.
Straight enough.
Hey,
Straight enough.
That's all that matters.
Only wounded a few deer.
I have my dad's bow too, which was even older than my old Golden Eagle. His was probably from like the 80s, but I don't even know. It's like a Franken bow. I think he like the limbs broke on it, so he had to replace them. It's spray painted, so I can't tell what model it is. You all right there, Brando?
All right.
What'd you get there? What are you drinking? Little Dunkin'?
Double shot caramel macchiato.
From Dunkin'?
No, Starbucks.
Oh, Starbucks.
It's a little mini one.
Bro,
The mini? Yeah, it's a grande.
It's
I'm not a Starbucks connoisseur. I don't really know, but
Have you ever had a pumpkin spice latte?
I don't drink like none of that fruity stuff. Fruity meaning
Pumpkin is a fruit, right?
Is it? It is.
Well, I didn't mean it
probably.
like that, but yeah, that works.
Zesty.
Too. Zesty stuff.
I understand
I'll
what
go
you're
with
saying,
that, yeah.
man. It is pumpkin spice latte season, though.
It is.
The commercials were all over the TV this weekend, so it made me really want one. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait until we get these really cold mornings coming up later this week.
It's like Thursday, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be like well into the 40s in the morning. Give me a little pumpkin spice on the way to work. Ooh.
Who posted in our chat about having a pumpkin spice latte? The pro staff.
Spolem, maybe?
It was Spolem.
Sounds like Spolem.
Feels like something
It was
Spolem would do.
Spolem. Yeah.
It's my guy. We're getting zesty together with our pumpkin spice. Don't judge us.
Getting zesty together.
Don't judge
With
us,
Troy.
young Ben.
Try not to. Try not to.
I'm gonna make you have one. You think Seven Brew has?
Do you like cinnamon?
Yeah, I like cinnamon, but like coffee, just stuff like that. I mean, I just don't like it.
Oh, you don't like coffee? If you don't like
No,
coffee,
I don't like coffee at all.
Yeah, but this is like the gateway drug to drinking coffee.
Gateway drug.
Yeah, it's like it's like a shake.
Yeah.
Almost.
Well, I mean,
Kinda,
you could
kinda.
get like a frappuccino or something,
Yeah.
right? But this is how it begins because it's got so much terrible sugars and things in it to make it not taste like coffee.
I already
But
drink
there's a-
like
but there's a-
Powerades and stuff.
But there's like a
and
little bit
it's
of
all the same.
coffee taste to it, so you get, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
the gateway.
Yeah.
That's where it all starts.
Yeah.
Go get yourself a white chocolate mocha. And you're like, oh, this isn't so bad. And before you know it, my God, Brando.
You're holding that sneeze. Sorry.
Brando's dying back over there. All right. How many sits do you think you're going to get this year, Ben? This is your question.
Well, each weekend theoretically has 4 sits, or 2 if you're an all-day type of fellow, which is not me. But
Yeah. So I try to count more hours in the stand versus
Okay.
number of sits.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know what I would go off that. I'm still going to go off my sits in my head.
Okay.
But
Fair
like,
enough. Well, let's go off sits.
yeah, I mean, like if there's, 4 weeks in a month or 4 weekends, whatever.
Sure.
I don't
So
know.
you're just
Hoping-
doing basic math.
Just
here.
hoping like, in the 40, 50 sit range probably in the year, I would
So
guess.
let's say you go.
I try to
let's
go
just use-
every weekend.
Let's just use 50 sits. It's a lot of sits,
Yep.
first of all. 50 sits is a lot. How long do you average on a sit?
I'd say, I just kind of go like, so like here's what I go off of. How do I get into a stand? The sun rises at 5:30 or whatever, so you can see.
I only count shootable.
That's what I mean. So you can see at 5,
Yep.
which is when you can shoot. So I try to get in by like 4:30 or 4:15, something
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
So yeah, probably, I don't know, probably sit from 4:15, 4:30 till 9, 10 at the latest. I'm
So
not
let's say- so
I'm not a
let's say you
super
sit
late
till-
sitter in the
Let's-
morning.
well, the more into the rut we get, the later you'll probably.
I tried to. I mean, but I can't always say.
So
I'm
let's
sitting super late.
say it gets light at 5. And you're hunting till 9. So you're sitting for 4 hours, hunting for 4.
Hunting for 4
I don't
hours, yeah.
consider the
the
time in the
hour
dark.
and yeah, right.
Right? 4 hours is a pretty lengthy sit. Let's just say it's 3 hours. Go with 3. 3 is a pretty good
Okay.
number. Because like your afternoon sits, if it's dark
Yeah,
at
I don't-
5, are you getting in at 1?
No, I would say the afternoon sits. I feel like I'm pretty. I try not to get in that early. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, so let's just
Not
say
always even.
let's say you do 50 sits at 3 hours.
Yep.
You're at 150 hours in a stand. That's a lot of hours.
That is a lot of hours.
Once you get into the triple digits, I feel like you're humping. You're putting some time in. Well, anything north of 100 is a lot of.
Last year I was in
hours.
triple digits like very quickly, and I burned out pretty quickly. I'm going to be honest.
So that's the problem Todd's had every year. Todd goes into every hunting season and he's like, I'm going to go easy in October. And then when it's time, I'm going to go down. And it's like, as soon as there's a little bit of coldness in October, Todd's just gone. He cannot help it, dude. We're all addicts. We are all drug addicts to deer hunting. And it's like when that season's open and nobody can tell you that you can't go hunting and you get to just, and you're Todd and you just set your own schedule.
Yeah, just go.
Like, just go. Like, why wouldn't you? But the problem is he has burned out. He's flamed out a little too quickly sometimes. And then when November comes, he's just cooked.
Yeah, last year I made my school schedule, obviously, so like I could do the like working remote, but also like just to hunt too and stuff. And I hunted way too much. Like I can't believe I'm saying that, but I hunted a lot. I got burned out pretty quick. Just
it's a grind.
Yeah, it really was, especially when you're chasing after like one certain deer, and then you just.
That's why I give like a guy like Matt Millard who's going on a 2-week trip. Like guys always talk about like how much they would love that, like just 2 weeks to do nothing but hunt, bro. It wears on you. Like that's why I always say like these hunting guides. Like when I see Dustin and and Rich and Paul and the guys that guide for him and anybody that guides out there, like these dudes are freaking crazy because they are up late and they got to be up earlier than everybody else. The hunters can sleep until it's time for them to get up, eat breakfast, and go. The guides got to be up, gear ready to go, coolers packed, truck full of gas, like the whole deal, ready to go for the day. And then at the end of the night, they don't get to just freaking, and if they have a life, dude, if they got a spouse or kids and they got to go see their kids or whatever, or the kids got stuff going on at school or sporting, like I have no idea how they do it. But dude, it is like they are operating on very little sleep during the season. But I just know like some of the trips that I've been on, you get 7-8 days straight of just like humping it all day, every day, getting up early. Like every once in a while you're like, man, I just want a break. I just want a day off.
Sounds like some hard work.
I say that a lot of times during the hunting season. I start looking forward to the weekdays when I come to the office because I get to sleep in. Right? Because
it's weird to think about it like that, but I bet I'll probably get there.
You'll get there.
100%.
Because like on the weekends you're like, okay, I got to get up at 4 a.m. Right? Like, so let's say it's light at 5 or 5:30 and it's like I have to get up. Maybe I'm going to shower.
Right.
Maybe I'm going to get all my stuff, get out, drive to wherever I got to go, get into my stand an hour before, light. Then I'm there all morning. So you're getting up at 3, 4 a.m. Then it's like, oh, I got to work tomorrow. I get to sleep till 6:30. Like,
oh, boy.
That's amazing.
Oh, boy.
I get to sleep in tomorrow. So there's been times where I've been there for sure. How many sits do I think I'll get? Man, I think we can go through my footage last year and look. Like I'm definitely going to get less this year than I did last year. I'll say that much. If I get 30, 35 sits, I think I'll be happy with that. I'm definitely going to have to sit with Jake a handful of times to try to get him a deer, which I don't really even count towards like my own personal hunting time. Joey's on his own. Screw him. He's got his hunter's edge covered. He can just go do his own thing, whatever. He don't need me. I may film him once or twice, if the conditions are right, or if we have one of those nights where it's like we have a really good spot to go, but only one of them and my other spots are kind of mid. I might be like, you know what? Let me just jump in the tree and film you tonight. I do enjoy still doing that. So, but yeah, if I get 30, 35 sits, I'll be happy. Although Kansas, right? I mean, that's like a week-long trip.
True.
2 a day. That's gonna pound some sits out pretty quick.
I think I'm going to try to sit a little more into December this year than I have in the past. I just kind of, like I said, burn out and then clock out by like early December. So I think I'm going to try to extend my season because
there could be some really good hunting to be had. There could be some really good hunting late season. I've been very much the same way where it's like if I haven't killed by Thanksgiving, there's been years. If I haven't killed by Thanksgiving, I'm like kind of bummed out. And then I just like kind of start phoning it in December, especially if I don't have really good food sources. Yeah. But I know plenty of people that have killed good deer late season without like amazing food sources. It can be done.
Transition areas, other things.
Or just try to kill them in October and November. Ben, favorite week to hunt of the year? What's your favorite week? If you had to if somebody was like, Ben, you have 5 days. This is the only 5 days you can hunt the entire year.
I feel like we knocked this out on the last one, but still.
But you weren't here.
I might have been in here.
Or you weren't contributing.
Like the 4th through the 9th. I've just have this nice little 5-day window right there. November 4th through the 9th. There's deer moving everywhere that I hunt. Always. Cameras, based on my eyes, everything. So I'm just going to hunt those 5 days.
Those are good 5 days. I don't know what I would pick. My favorite days to hunt would be the last 5 days of October. But I think the prerequisite there is like I would need some time to scout a little before that. Because I don't think the deer are traveling quite as much. Like November 4th through the 9th, dude, I feel like I could do 5 all-day sits in a rut funnel in the timber and just go to the same spot every day for 5 days. And like that's all I would need to do. I feel like that end of October is a little bit more of like a cat and mouse game. If you happen to know like an area because they're moving in daylight, they're a little bit more predictable. They might be in the same spot for a couple days in a row, where I feel like that 4th through the 9th is just pure chaos.
Yeah, you could see anything.
You could see anything. Yeah. He could be here today and a mile away tomorrow. Where I feel like that last couple days in October, it's a little bit more predictable. So I would prefer that, but the caveat there is like I would need probably like trail cameras and maybe a day or two to scout ahead of time. So like if somebody said, hey, these are your 5 days, and I could like take a couple days ahead of that to like scout around, check fresh signs, rub, scrapes, shit like that, then I would do it. If somebody said, hey, I'm just dropping you, like I'm going to drop you in Iowa and you can hunt today and the next 5 days in a row, I think that like 4th through the 9th is a pretty solid bet.
Yeah, it's
right?
a good window.
Just no intel. Just look at a map, pull up hunt stand and go, okay, there's a good funnel in this inside corner of this timber, like right here, and I'm just going to go plop my ass there and hunt for 5 days. What about you, Brando?
I'm going to be chilling editing videos those days, I'm sure, here in the office. But I was going to ask you something.
Go ahead.
You mentioned filming Joey, right?
Yeah.
Well, he's going to be on his own, right? Right. He's not filming himself when he's out there on
I gave him a GoPro last year, and so he filmed himself with a GoPro a pretty decent amount of times, yeah.
Okay, because I was kind of wondering if you were thinking about one of these nights he's going to be like, Dad, I shot a buck.
I hope so.
But I don't quite know where it hit. I think like
we've all been there, dude. We've all been there.
But yeah, they're a little spoiled because you guys, you and Todd always have on camera, so you know where you hit, you know what to expect.
Yep.
And you can plan your night accordingly. But
correct. You just got to do it the way we all did it, and the way that most people still do it, right? I mean, there's plenty of that, right? You got to. So I was just talking yesterday about this, like making sure he's got reliable lighted nocks on his arrows, number one. And then beyond that, I've taught him a lot of like watch the deer's reaction, mark where it went, trying to find the arrow afterwards, look at the sign on the arrow, the deer's reaction, like all those things are going to dictate what you do afterwards. So yeah, there's definitely, I couldn't tell you the last time I shot a deer and didn't know exactly where I hit it and what angle it was standing when I shot it and how it reacted, and was able to make my decisions based on that. It's been a long time. So yeah, to your point, Brando, I am waiting for that to happen. I am waiting for I shot a deer and I don't know where I hit it or if I hit it, because it's going to happen, right? I think it happens to every young bow hunter. I was, so when my brother-in-law came over yesterday to shoot his new to him bow, he was taking his arrows out of his quiver and he's like, oh, here's an arrow that I, shot a doe with last year, and it was all, covered in blood, tip to tip. Still, he hadn't cleaned it off. And he's like, yeah, I didn't find her. And I was like, where'd you hit her? And he's like, I have no idea. And I was like, okay, well, we got to work on that.
So your arrow look all right?
I mean, it was year-old blood, but I mean, it was caked all the way to like fletchings and everything, So I was like, well, first of all, lighted nocks, brother. We got to get you some lighted nocks. So for the budget conscious bow hunter, we pulled up Amazon and showed him which ones I would use if I was him, and he didn't want to go spend $100 on a bunch of lighted nocks.
Which ones you recommend? One of the test ones? Yeah,
I think he went with the D-Powers is what we settled on. So he's shooting Easton Sonics. Okay. Yeah, so that's a 6 mil arrow. So it needs the H bushing. So it comes with the bushings. And dude, for $20, or whatever they were for a 6-pack with the bushings. I was like, it's a no-brainer. For the weekend warrior that just doesn't want to spend a bunch of money, I totally get it. Like I told him, because he asked me what I was shooting this year, because I was out shooting with him and I had my nocks on, and I was like, I'm shooting Halo nocks, but they're $11 a pop. So I'm going to have, $65 in nocks in my quiver, where he could have $18 of nocks in his quiver, and I was like, they'll be fine. Plenty of guys are using them. I personally prefer the Halo. I think it's a better knock. But like for him, I was like, I would rather have you shooting the Amazon knockoff lighted nocks than not shooting a lighted knock at all. Right. And that's probably what I'll put in Joey's arrows, to be honest with you. I'll probably
at least it gives you a chance to see where your arrow's going.
Yeah. Well, like he said, it was getting dark, and his problem, which is the same problem. I've never had this problem, but I should have had it. When it starts to get dark and you're in the timber, you can very easily lose sight of little small branches between you and your target. You just can't see them anymore. Right. So like in his case, it was getting dark. Like he said, it was pushing. He's like, I could see the deer fine. I could see my pin fine. But what I couldn't see was that there was a couple little twiggies between me and this deer when I shot, and he believes his arrow deflected, but he couldn't see the arrow because he didn't have a lighted knock. So he thinks it deflected. He has no idea where he hit it, and ended up never finding the animal, which is why I just think lighted knocks are so important. Like, I don't know why other than maybe just not knowing any better. I could see not knowing any better as just like an excuse of like, hey, dude, I just didn't know. But beyond that, like, dude, lighted knocks, everybody. What are you going to shoot for lighted knocks, Ben?
I still haven't decided yet, to be honest. So probably just make a quick order. I'll probably go based on your conclusion of the lighted knock video. So.
Well, we have a bunch of extra lighted knocks from testing, so you could probably just take.
Well, then I'll do that too. I'll just do a smorgasbord.
Dude, I have an entire box full of lighted knocks.
I'll do that then too. I only need a couple. And
there's plenty of them that I would shoot. There's one that I thought was the best, but there was plenty of other ones where I was like, dude, there's nothing wrong with these other knocks. They're perfectly serviceable products.
I guess that's, like to your point earlier, you said like you wouldn't really know why people would choose or not choose to shoot them, but I guess like I already have knocks on, like right now in my head, I already have knocks on my arrows. So like it's not like the main thought in my head. And then
well, especially for somebody that hasn't bow hunted
much,
and
you go out and
understand like, gear. They're like, they go to the archery shop and they're like, hey, I need a dozen arrows and this is my setup, and they cut them and give them to them, and off they go, and they just go hunting with them. Maybe there needs to be a campaign to get the shop owners or whomever to like
push for lighted knocks,
upsell everybody lighted knocks. Just upsell everybody that comes in. You should be shooting lighted knocks. Talking to you, viewer. All right, that's all we got for today. Ben, we're going to go over our last 2 comments. But you picked out some comments for us.
Poor Ben, first to bat almost gets him. Now poison ivy. That was a bad one.
He's not wrong, Ben. You had a rough go at it.
I did.
First you almost got rabies, then you got poison ivy.
I don't know which one I'd rather have. But and then Nate Milbachler says, I've always heard you should wash with cold water so it doesn't open up your pores to keep the oil from penetrating worse. I normally clean up in the river directly after contact.
I think the problem is like you don't always know when you contact it. That's been my problem.
I mean, I knew I was in it, but
I
didn't have a river right next to me. Otherwise, I would have attempted to wash myself. But
yeah, but I mean,
I don't know. I think I was too far gone. I was out there for hours rubbing and sweating, and I was cooked. I was cooked and ate.
Yeah, you were hosed, Ben. Yeah, I mean, I think the cold water thing makes sense. Plus, it probably doesn't make the oil as like viscous, so it doesn't spread as easily if it's cold. It's like cleaning,
I would have just
it's like cleaning grease out of a frying pan. Like if you're using cold water, it's like really hard to get out. Use warm water, gets kind of lubes it, softens it up, like butter.
Like butter.
Like spreading cold butter versus like room temperature butter. You know what I'm saying, Brando?
Yeah, it's like bacon grease in your pan. You want to get it out, you got to use warm water.
Are you a butter guy? Are you a margarine guy? Are you a country crock? What do you got at home, Brando?
I would prefer a stick of butter, but the wife likes to get the little tubs that are easy to spread. So whatever's in that.
I'm a tub guy. for sure.
I'm stick of butter guy.
Really?
The can't,
We're
probably like
stick of
the
butter
can't,
people.
can't believe it's not butter kind of a thing, I suppose.
Just hydrogenated oils, terrible for you. I can believe it's not butter because it's oil.
Me too.
It's definitely not butter.
The ingredients say
I
it's
buy
not
the
butter.
sticks.
So.
Yeah.
I can believe it.
I buy the real stuff, but I don't always do the shopping. So
You got to tell your wife. Mrs. Streeter,
it's not a lot of telling my wife much.
you can make a polite suggestion. Say, I would prefer. Yeah, I've converted my wife fully to stick of butter. It's all we are. We're stick of butter people now. Yeah. We got the little butter
in the
tray
fridge, or
does it stay in the fridge, or does it stay out?
No, you got to leave it out, bro.
See, we
leave
keep
it
our
out.
butter in the fridge.
Yeah, but then, dude, when you go to use it, it's cold. You can't spread cold butter.
I mean, I agree with that.
That's
but
why
like in my
people
head,
don't
I don't
use
know
it.
I don't know the health concerns. I'm just here. I'm just here.
There's no health
You're fine.
concerns.
Then maybe I should.
I mean, you'll
put our
know.
butter
It'll
out.
look off when it's bad. Like it'll grow mold or something.
Yeah, I don't know. We go through it pretty quickly at my house. So, like,
Maybe pound butter good.
yeah, we do a lot of butter. A lot of just pure old butter. I would get Land O'Lakes, but they removed the Native American lady that was on there. They went woke, so.
You gonna go back to Cracker Barrel? You gonna give them another chance?
Maybe.
I don't know
I
if
don't
I've ever
know.
been, so I mean, I just have to give them their first chance. Did we
We
go?
went to Cracker
Did we go to
Barrel when
Cracker
we were in
Barrel? Oh, that was
Nashville.
That was
Absolutely
like,
awful.
Great service.
It was atrocious.
It was.
When we went there in Nashville.
I do remember that now. Yeah.
I think it's just the Nashville service in general. Like everywhere we went, the service was terrible.
Yeah, it was awful.
If you guys
It was
are
a
from
terrible
Nashville or been to
experience.
Nashville recently, chime in on if the service was just bad for us or if it's just the way it is down in the South.
I assume it's going to be the same for everyone, especially
Think
on that
so?
Valentine's Day weekend. It's a bad one. I mean, people go to Nashville to spend the weekend with their lover. It's busy.
They go to Cracker Barrel for breakfast.
I just
when
mean,
they're
I just
down there
mean
for
the whole.
their love trip.
I meant our whole trip. It was busy.
Nashville's
we had bad
like
service.
one big Sybaris on on Valentine's Day weekend. Well, with that said, hey Ben, you got these new hats.
We do.
Pimp the new hats, bro. They look good. I
Got
like
two
'em.
new hats here. We also have a couple more on the site. Yeah, I mean, get you some. They're
I
gonna
like
be
it.
live.
They got a little, like a full sneak looking deer.
Yeah.
Is that what he's doing? He's trying to
New
sniff
design
some
on the front.
tail.
Same old favorite hats that we've had in the past, just new designs. So get you one or two or three.
I like it. So we got a black and a camo.
Yep.
Solid looking hats, people. Go to bowhunting.com, buy you a hat. Ben and I got to go. We're late for a meeting. Peace out.
See you.